What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Howling at Life with yours truly. The sound effects are back, everybody, just to let you know. So, the Wolfman of Comedy here, Big Adrian, coming at you for another episode of Howling at Life. Doing this right here on a Monday. So, January 5th, man. January 5th, 2026. You know what I mean? So, we're coming at you here with another episode of Howling at Life, everybody, on this first Monday of the new year. That's what we're doing. Solo little deal so we can get this done. Just busy. A lot of announcements going on. A lot of stuff I want to talk about. Probably won't be as long as usually the episodes are, but I want to get some real good content in here. So just to let everybody know, we're doing this right here, y'all. Solo episode with the wonderful little candle going on over here, little Reign of Terror candle, and my new Exorcist candle. Blah. But I got that from the Horror Unleashed out in Vegas. The Universal Horror Unleashed. So we got a little bit of a vibe going on, but just want to let everybody know that thank you everybody for listening and all the Wolfpack out there, old and new, right? The people that are no longer listening, but the people that still are listening. Thank you very much for all of your wonderful, the last year, wonderful, just being there for me, y'all. You know what I mean? And this podcast, you know, it's something simple that I do. But I want to thank everybody there. A lot of our videos have gotten a lot of likes and stuff like that throughout the years, some comments, you know, things going on. We still have some of the comedy bits that I've had are on my YouTube channel, of course. And as well as we ended the year with 143s for just stopping in, the second installment of Howling Big Production short film last year. And 218 views for the first short film, Athlete. That was 1 year ago. So thank you everybody for helping out Howling Big Productions. There's going to be a lot more stuff this year going on for Howling Big Productions. So please stay tuned so that we can get that rocking and rolling and everything going. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what's going on? Yay! That's for you, Frankie. He loves that one. I did find it. I found it again. So I know he liked that one. He liked this one too. So we're getting the soundtrack and we're getting all the wonderful stuff out here. But I did want to put some content out there for everybody because it seems like only 5 days into this new year. Holy crap, there's so much stuff going on. So I wanted to go ahead and do this podcast. Even if I'm doing it solo, we're going to be doing it every week, right? So as always, you can follow my YouTube channel, right? You got Big Adrian, the Wolfman Comedy podcast channel, and just YouTube channel in general, right? It's got my comedy, it's got the short films that I've been talking about, it's got some of my singing stuff, and of course it has the podcast on there. So you can always follow any of these things on my YouTube channel. Or you can also follow a lot of the announcements and stuff coming on my social media, which is Big Adrian Lopez, Big Adrian, all one word. And on Instagram, you can follow me on Big Daddy L714 and Wolf Daddy 714, as well as Big Adrian Comedy. All right. You can always follow me, drop a line, drop a comment, drop whatever you want, kind of a deal. So, you know, greatly appreciated for sure for everybody here. Just make sure that, you know, you follow something, damn it. Follow, like, and share and subscribe to any of the social media or my YouTube channel. Let everybody know. Spread the word for 2026. We want to get some more views for more audience members for sure. So, going on. And I might do a TikTok. I don't know, because I have so many projects coming up, everybody, just to let you know. But we'll figure out what ends up happening for 2026. Frankie gets a kick out of that, so I have to keep it in the show, man. I'm just gonna let you know, y'all are gonna get sick and tired of it, but it's hilarious. So, couple things to kind of talk about. We'll kind of get into some stuff here. You know, I get the social media thing. We got that, got out of the way. We have, what we gonna call, yeah, let's do announcements. Let's do. So, some announcements, everybody, coming up. January 18th. That's coming up in less than 2 weeks. Holy crack. 2 Sundays from now, y'all. Just to let you know, at The Activist Kitchen in LA. If you want the exact address, you can follow me on my social media and get the flyers will be posted up, videos will be posted up announcing the first comedy show of 2026 happening. All right. So I'll be headlining. I will be headlining everybody in LA. Let's go. I'll be headlining this comedy show. I'll be doing about a half an hour set. All new material, like I always do, everybody. You know what I'm saying? But that'll be happening on January 18th of this month, man. So if you have a chance to get in there, the tickets are $10 online. Again, go to the Activist Kitchen. It is the Laughing and Grooving comedy show, I believe. But it's a Johnny Flowers production on January 18th at 6 p.m. The tickets online are $10, or the tickets at the door are $15. Also, it's a BYOB kind of thing. So what you're going to drink, you're going to bring. So that's the kind of a event that it is. Hopefully I see you all there. It's going to be a great show. I'm going to try to record it now that I got my new, kind of like this new stand that my dad got me a little bit. It kind of works a little bit, which is great. But it's this new stand that my dad got me. I'm kind of looking at it right now. That's what I'm recording this on. So you see the height difference and the level on that. I'm going to be trying to record this this comedy set, 30 minutes, and then trying to break it up as best as I can so I can kind of upload it to YouTube. So you can see like bits and pieces of jokes and stuff like that. And you'll probably get the full deal as well. But I'm going to try to see if I can do that after this. So hopefully February will be bits and pieces of everything going on from the comedy bit and the comedy show that I'm doing in a couple of weeks. But if you want to go live, please make sure you do and go live and get your tickets either online or at the door. So that's the first event. I'm also doing a comedy show up in Ridgecrest. That's about a 3-4 hour drive from here, but it is an AA convention. I will be guest speaking my story, my sobriety story, as well as doing comedy, and that'll be an hour set, and I'm going to try to record that as well, y'all. So again, bits and pieces of certain things will be coming up there, and I'm hoping, since it's like April 10th through 12th, I'm hoping possibly by the end of April, beginning of May, some of that stuff will be edited and thrown on the YouTube channel as well, so you can see those comedy bits as well. So first two gigs right there. I also, well, let's go ahead and do another drum roll. I also I'll be speaking this weekend. Again, another announcement coming up, another big stuff coming up, y'all. This weekend I'll be talking to the 202 Club in Anaheim. If anybody knows, it's the last house on the block. For us people that I got sober, and some of y'all have seen my comedy shows there at the 202. That's where I first started doing comedy. I'm going to be talking to them this weekend about getting some dates for upcoming comedy shows with me and a bunch of my comedians. I'm going to start getting some people down there a few times a year, like every 3 months or something, and maybe doing an open mic night, you know what I mean, kind of a deal, so people can practice their comedy. There's a lot of people that have been telling me this year, like, or even last year, the last couple of years, oh, I want to practice comedy, but I don't know. That's the perfect place to do it, man. You know what I mean? Just do an hour and a half. We'll do like some open mic night going on. So I'm going to try to talk to them about getting some of that started rocking and rolling, everybody. So make sure you are, you know what I mean, listening for the updates for all that stuff that's coming up. Okay? Just want to let you know. Also, a lot of announcements. A lot of this happened this weekend, so just to let you know, right? A lot of stuff happened this weekend. Bam! I'll be talking to Dino Rocha from Sober Soldier Apparel. Me and him are going to be working on trying to get some of my Wolfman of Comedy stuff for me to wear on the stage. See how that works out. So I can get some stuff so I can wear at my performances. But also be talking to him about a possible project, a possible TV series to film, a little script that we might be writing together for this year. So just to let you know, big things are popping, man. Big things are popping, everybody. Stay tuned for all of these things. Thank you. But yeah, we're thinking about doing. Again, I got a lot of these things that you have not heard from the last week. A lot of these happened literally this weekend. A lot of these possibilities, opportunities, stuff that's going on. So possible TV series script coming in for this year. Hopefully, getting some things shooting, and I'm still trying to shoot a couple of short films for my YouTube channel that are coming up. Hopefully in April, May. Get the first one done, and then the next one in a few months from that, or like 5 months from that, or whatever. But hopefully, 2 more projects this year. I want to keep on loading my YouTube channel with tons of content, tons of stuff going out there, and see what I can do. See if I can kind of polish everything and hopefully get it into Screenfest LA or one of these other like what is it, the Midsummer Scream, or any of these places that do short films. They play short films. So a lot of projects kind of came to me in the first weekend of the year, to be honest with you. A lot of tattooing's happening. If you see my pages, you know there's a lot of tattooing happening. I got more tattoos lined up next weekend. Just been busy, busy, busy already. The first weekend of the year. Oh, only the 5th day of the year, y'all. And Wolfman's already on it. So just to let you know, that stuff's going to be happening. So stay tuned for all this wonderfulness that is happening in 2026 so far. That's just so far. So far. Busy, busy. You know, let alone with all the other stuff in life and school and work and blah, blah, and all that kind of stuff going on. But wanted to let you know that this year already planning to be out, pretty busy year. I still want to get in there and write a book myself. So I can see if I can kind of get that going this year as well, which I'm going to get going this year. But that'll get started. So that's another project. So just busy, busy, busy trying to create content. Now, the reason why I'm telling you all this is not just to be waiting for to listen to all the stuff's going on, but also just to let you know you can make shit happen, man. If you want to make a podcast, look at me. I'm in my bedroom right now. Stuff happening with the candle. You know what I mean? You can make stuff happen. I can help you out or whatever, but you know, all of these things are possible if you just have that willingness and try to make something happen. It doesn't have to be great, it just has to be made, right? And that's what 2026 is about, y'all, making stuff happen this year. So just to let you know, a lot of projects are coming down the line, but also, you know, if you want to join me for anything, you know, drop me a line, comment if you'd like to be part of any of the filming or like you know, part of the anybody that's do it with the stage crew or whatever the fuck we need. Just drop me a line so maybe we can use you for some upcoming projects, because there are a lot that are going to be coming down the road for sure. So if anybody has any comments or anybody wants to be part of it, please make sure you drop me a line, comment, or whatever's going on any of my social media or on my YouTube channel, of course, on this episode or any of the episodes, but especially like the current ones. Let me know if you want to be a part of something, man. Again, it's a cool little feeling. One of the things I remember when we did my first short film, Athlete. You know, I had the Monster Squad there, and everybody was like kind of into it, man, and it was cool. And I just did the second one myself because you know everybody's lives kind of got busy because it was time consuming a little bit. But you know, it's a great experience if you want to kind of try your niche into something artistic or whatever, and you want to be involved, especially if y'all support the Wolfman Comedy, Big Adrian. Let me know. Let me know. It'd be great to have you on board and kind of teach you a little bit of something, and you might get a cool experience. You know, something new for you. So please make sure you let me know. All right, everybody. Told you, you're gonna get sick and tired of that shit. That's just hilarious to me for some reason. I don't know why. And this one too. Beautiful, beautiful. I can just picture frickin' Frankie. But just letting everybody know that there's a lot of projects coming up. And like I said, most of these came through this first weekend of the year. So I know there's going to be more popping up and more opportunities and more gigs and more stuff going on. So please be a part of it, man. I greatly love to have y'all there to be a part of all this for 2026, y'all. It's 2026. So let's get into this a little bit so we can get into the topic. Since it's already burned up like a quarter of the hour right here. But let's go into here. Entertainment review. We're going to do some entertainment review here and get into some stuff so we can kind of get this kind of rocking and rolling. So me and Spooky, we actually went to the movies on Saturday is what we did. And just to let y'all know, it was crazy, man, how much people in Orange County how much impact that I've had on a lot of people in Orange County, man. Not to toot my horn, but just I've been out there howling at life, getting out at life, and just being part of a lot of people's lives and stuff. And it was a trip this weekend, how I kind of noticed that myself. You know what I mean? What happened was I had taken some of my Frankie and another buddy to Dave and Buster's on Friday to go have a good time. Right? We just got some dinner and then we started playing some video games, whatever. Well, me and the two guys were playing Halo. If anybody's ever been to Dave and Buster's, you see that big old console. They got four different guns or whatever. You know, four people can play at the same time. Halo, the Halo game. And so I was in one, and I had an empty one next to me, but somebody left the credit, so I was playing two different ones at the same time. And then Frankie and my other buddy were on the other side. They're doing the other two. And then all of a sudden, I saw some kid kind of pop in, and the mom, you know, put the little card, and okay, he started playing. He was just happy, just shooting, just shooting all over the place, right? So after a few minutes, though, she looks at me. I look over. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know, I was tripping out, dude. I was tripping out. She goes, "Are you Adrian?" I said, "Yeah. Why? Did you used to run some AA classes or something?" I said, "Yeah. Why?" She goes, "Do you remember me? I was one of your clients and stuff." I was like, "Holy shit! Like that was like 3-4 years ago, man." And I was like, "Yeah, I remember your face." She goes, "Nah, you've had so many clients." I go, "Dude, I remember your face. Don't worry." Well, the next day, after we had gone to the movies, and again, I'll do the movie review thing right now. Me and Spooky went to the movies, and then we went to Costco. So I was at Costco, and I was wearing again Dino's brand Sober Soldier and Sober Soldier apparel. I was wearing the jacket, one of the custom jackets that I've had made, and it was interesting because he was like, I had these jackets made, so it has the big old logo right in the front. It has my name, the other logo, whatever. And somebody comes up to me behind my shopping cart and goes, "What's your name?" I said, "My name's Adrian. I'm known as Big Adrian, though." She goes, "That's my brother's company. That's his logo." I said, "No shit." So I ran into Dino's sister, and that's how he kind of started talking about some projects and stuff like that going on, networking kind of going on. So don't be afraid to sport what you got to sport, be who you got to be, and make those connections because you never know what might happen if you're able to do that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just don't be afraid. Not in 2026, especially not in 2026, y'all. But it was a trip. It was like two different places, 2 different days. You know, already in the first weekend of this year, people were just kind of like, "Hey, man, who are you?" And "Oh my God, you remember me?" And it was just really cool to kind of see that going on. So you know that stuff's gonna be popping because I'm always out there howling at life, everybody, right, doing my thing. So just stay tuned for everything, but whatever. But like I said, it's so great if you have any inkling to do something this year, make connections, remake connections. You know what I mean? Do it this year, dude. You know, it's not bad. Even the people can't be in your life, you can still be connected to people. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't, you know, they're not in your life the way you'd want them to be. You know what I mean? They can always be part of your life in some way, right? And a lot of us guys got to like get out of that grudge or get out of that expectation or whatever it is that's messing up us not being able to connect with people. You know what I mean? It's 2026, y'all. We're adults. We're adults. I don't make this for kids. You know, fuck that shit. But you know, one of the things is that this is the year where you can make stuff happen and just reconnect. It doesn't have to be damaging. It doesn't have to be messed up. But you know, I think the big thing is that being able to you know, do what you got to do, get out there, howl at life, make those connections. You know, you never know what might happen, dude. And I'm grateful I have because it was cool. It was cool this weekend to kind of see some of the fruits of that labor of doing it. So 2026 is the year to do it for sure. All right, everybody, make that happen. Make it happen. All right, everybody. So let's get back into here. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a entertainment corner. Boom. All right. So I wanted to review a movie. So like I was telling you, me and Spooky had gone to the movies, AMC, to go watch a movie, just to kind of watch it. And we did. First of all, we ended up watching before that, a couple days before that, or I believe that Friday. We watched, was it Friday? No, it wasn't Friday. I think it was Saturday actually, or yeah, Saturday night. But anyways, Saturday night, Saturday morning, we kind of went to the movies and we got to see Sing Song Blue. Okay. Now, if you've seen the commercials, this is Hugh Jackman, and he's kind of impersonating Neil Diamond, right? The guy, Sweet Caroline, Sweet Caroline. If you're an alcoholic, you know that fucking song. If you've been to a bar, you know that fucking song. So good, right? You know you know the song. Well, anyways, he impersonates kind of Neil Diamond, and it's based on a true story and the whole thing, and his journey of being this Neil Diamond interpreter or whatever. You know what I mean? The movie's really great. Two paw prints way up. But I gotta let you know, man, it's a tearjerker. If you got any feelings at all, man, it was like a tearjerker, bro. It was good. It was fun. It was this. There was suspense. There was drama, but it's a tearjerker, man. You know what I mean? Like it's a trip. So I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. If you have a chance to see it, you know what I mean. Maybe you've been bottling up some emotions or something, man. In 2025, 2026 is the year where you let those emotions run out, man. Like you let yourself feel this year, y'all. Okay, let yourself get out there and howl at life and experience all life has to happen and offer. You know what I mean? This movie did it, man. I mean, I was sobbing. I got out, went to the restroom. My eyes are like bloodshot and all that shit, and it was like, oh my god, I was sobbing, man. The movie did it, but it was a great acting from everybody in the cast. But just to base that, it was based on a true story and how emotional so many parts of that movie were, and how many messages that were in that movie, man, and just it was a trip, somebody just chasing the dreams, you know what I'm saying? It kind of really showed me like, yo, man, you got to keep going, do what you're doing, right? Because a lot of times, I don't know if anybody here, and if you have, please comment, you know what I mean? In 2025, I kind of felt like giving up. I think I mentioned this before on one of the podcasts. I kind of had mentioned how, there's some things that I kind of wanted to give up, whether it was the podcast or comedy or school or work or relationships or whatever the hell it was, tattooing, whatever. I always have these moments of doubt that kick in, right? And there's always something that says, well, just keep going, what I mean? Maybe it's not happening right now, but it doesn't mean it's not going to be, happening later or whatever. And so I stick with it, and then it just kind of continues like, oh shit, let's do another podcast, or hey, there's another opportunity, or hey, there's another tattoo appointment, or hey, there's another comedy gig, or stuff like that just occurs. You know what I mean? So this movie kind of touches on a lot of that. It touches on some guy that just didn't want to give up on his dream, and then he kind of did because life happened. He got back into it, and just a lot of good stuff, man. The movie was really, really great, man. If you have a chance to see it, again, 2026 is the year to be experiencing all those feelings that you didn't allow yourself to feel in 2025. 2026 is the year to do it, man. And this movie was a great start off for me, just because, man, it was so soothing and so therapeutic, right? To be able to kind of experience that and to see that and to see somebody else's, experience and stuff. I'm like, you know what? And he didn't sell out, and, he wasn't playing big arenas, but he did chase his dream, man. And he, even when he had to sing in Thai restaurants, dude, and host karaoke nights or so, whatever the hell was going on, man. Like, he made it happen. He kept his dream alive. You know what I'm saying? And it was great. It was great to do that and to see that and to be able to like really focus in on my own life. You know what I mean? Maybe you might need that inspiration too. Maybe this podcast isn't for you. I don't know. But if you have a chance to see that movie, Sing Song Blue, it's great. It has tons of Neil Diamond songs in the movie. You know what I mean? It's a lot of good actors in that movie. But if you have a chance to see it, please, please, please go and see that movie. It's awesome. You know what I mean? It really is. So if you have a chance. So another movie that we ended up seeing, I think it was Saturday night that me and Spooky ended up seeing it, but was, everybody knows that the new Avatar movie, Fire and Ash or something like that, is out in theaters. I've heard it's really good. It's really long though, but it's really good. It's busted out so many box office records and whatever's going on. There's another movie before that though, in the trilogy of Avatar. I've seen the first one. Okay, it was great. But I never saw the second one, which is The Way of Water. Avatar: The Way of Water. It's kind of like the second portion of the trilogy before this third movie, this installment that's out in theaters. So me and Spooky had a chance to some hours, and it is long. It's like 3 hours and 15 minutes. But we got a chance to see that movie. And what happened was that we ended up having hold on one second, everybody. I got a tech come through. You know what I mean? We ended up having some extra time, so we ended up seeing Avatar, The Way of Water. Great movie. Did not feel like 3 hours and 15 minutes. I mean, even with the commercial breaks that were happening because it's streaming on Disney Plus. Um, it was a great movie. Two Paw Prints Way Up. Holy crap! I can't wait to see the third installment. Like it got me it got me all riled up for sure. Let me see. Let me give me. So it got me all riled up. It got me all set and there, all that kind of good stuff, man. It was really cool. You know what I mean? But if you have a chance to see it, man, like I was saying, that it was the story was good, the action was good, just following it through. Man, what a great installment of the Avatar trilogy. That second movie, The Way of Water. I can't wait to see the third one for sure. But Two Paw Prints way up for that one as well. If you have a chance to see that one, please make sure you do because oh my God, it really does help. I think I was asking a lot of people, like, do you need to see the second one to understand the third one? You know what I mean? Because I wanted to skip the second one. And everybody's like, yeah, it kind of helps. And I go, okay. But it actually does because if you realize in the first movie, like they were in the forest thing, and this is another thing where something happened where they have to now go into like the islands near the water and shit, and they had to learn new skills and new people in the cast coming in. So I think it really helps probably to see the third movie if you have a chance to see that. If you have 3 hours and 15 minutes, man, to spare, see that one before you see the new installment. I think it kind of really helps. But again, did not feel like 3 hours and 15 minutes to me. It just, man, it rock and rolled, man, and I was thoroughly impressed for sure. So, Avatar, Way of Water. It makes me laugh, dude. I'm gonna do it anyway. So yeah, if you have a chance to see any of those two movies, please make sure you do. And if you have a chance, I know this month there's plenty of movies, and next month there's plenty of movies, but especially in January, there's a lot of movies that are gonna be coming out. So please make sure that you, I don't know, have a chance to go out, just unwind, do your thing, get out there, howl at life. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do for sure. So just want to let everybody know that there's plenty of stuff, plenty of reviews coming up, plenty of projects, all that kind of good stuff. So, I'll keep on reviewing as I keep on watching everybody. All right, to let you know. um, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to get in here, y'all. Now that I did all that stuff, kind of a deal. Just get into the topic, man. Something that kind of rang to me a little bit was, it's only the fifth day of the year, and there's been so many things that I've seen people struggling, realizations happening, feelings popping up for people, fears, accidents. Jesus Christ. I'm hoping that we don't have no more rain for a while, man, for sure. But even coming home today, man, I was getting off of Magnolia off the 22. And there was like, it was kind of like, it looked like it was backing up. And I was like, well, what the hell? And like a few cars in front of me, there was an accident that had happened. So we had to swerve around it. And as I got off the off ramp, another two cars had just demolished each other, man. And I was like, yep, it's not just the rain that causes people to drive stupid, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just ain't paying attention, man. It's like, it got me to be like, all right, I need to pay attention because I would hate to start the new year like that for sure. But I started realizing like in the last 5 days, people were reaching out, people dealing with death. Somebody I know dealt with somebody that committed suicide on New Year's Day. One of my buddies, he's putting down his dog today that he's had for so many years, man, so many good years of his life. And just a lot of people that are struggling and dealing with realizations and some fears of life. Financial insecurities are happening a lot. And I just tripped out, man. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like, I always say howl at life, everybody, and I try to put a positive spin as best I can on really doing that, right? But sometimes life isn't cheerful. I use a lot of these sound effects and these laughters and things to kind of get a little joke or whatever. Or even if you get pissed off, fuck it, I don't care. It's my show. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? But I try to tell everybody to howl at life, man, because life is gonna come with a lot of different, I don't know, situations, you know what I mean? And some of y'all might have already experienced some of these already in the first year, you know what I mean? Getting out of the holidays and stuff. Everybody's asking me, like, well, how was your holidays? Oh my God. And I'm like, dude, it was productive as shit. It went quick. I'm glad it's gone because, like, now I can get back into my routine, man. You know what I mean? It was money spent, which is great. I got to spend some time here and there. But there was a lot of work involved into getting through the holidays, man. You know what I mean? Traveling and this and making this and doing that and blah, blah, blah. And then getting back and paying bills and, you know what I mean? I'm kind of glad the holidays are gone. That's one thing I was talking to Spooky about. I'm like, you know what? I hate Christmas. I love Halloween. Halloween, you ain't got to buy no gifts, dog. You know what I'm saying? You could celebrate Halloween for fucking months, dog. There's all sorts of Halloween this and Halloween that and mazes and whatever. And Christmas is like one day, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So, part of the thing that I kind of realized for myself, man, is that once I got through the holidays, like I got to get busy again. Productive, right? But I've noticed because a lot of people reached out to me, or I've witnessed some people, or just listened to people, chopping it up with them about, where they're at in their lives, man. And when I say how at life, just this is kind of like a mindset to get ready for 2026. It doesn't mean life's always going to be good or positive, man. Sometimes life is going to throw you a curveball. You might get a feeling that pops out of nowhere, this year. You might get a situation that pops out of nowhere. Life is tricky like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, you might get an opportunity that you're scared to take, or you might, be in a situation where you got to redirect your life or something. You know what I mean? And you're not sure if you should. You know what I'm saying? When you howl at life, the thing is, it's not trying to control it. It's trying to face it. You know what I mean? That's one of those things where, I try to tell people how that life, and they're like, "Oh, okay." Even though there's a lot of good things happening in my life, I've had to go through a lot of dark corners. Howling at life, the meaning of howling at life, you know what I mean? Is being able to face what life brings to you. You know what I mean? What it brings to your door, you know what I'm saying? Now, the thing is, I always tell people, the meaning of howling at life is because I've gone through so many situations, and a lot of you people in the wolf pack have been here for, this August will be 2 years I've been doing this podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're worldwide. We're not even statewide. We're not even countywide, really. And I got a few people that view, and so that's why I thank you all from the wolf pack for doing that. But I talk about real shit. You know what I mean? I talk about real things. From my perspective. That's why I did this podcast, because a lot of people said, to me, that I've experienced a lot of life, right? And I've learned how to find a how to face life. And the thing is that when you experience life, you have to experience it though. Part of the problem with people of not being able to find their how to face life, you know what I mean, is the simple fact that a lot of people are still trying to avoid life, trying to control life, trying to run from life, trying to be ahead of life. You know what I mean? And the reality is like, you can't. You know what I'm saying? You kind of have to take it as it comes. You can prepare the best you can, but the reality is like a lot of people don't think forward, man. I'm always thinking forward. I started, eating better. I started creating better routines. I started doing certain things, you know what I mean, to prep for this year, but I didn't wait till January 1st. New year, new me. I'm waiting for a motherfucker to say that shit, dog. You know what I mean? I hate that crap. New year, new you, but same old problems, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Um, Part of the thing is, I think for me, is really, the way that I kind of prepare to howl at life is to make sure that I'm as set as I can be, but I can't really control what happens, man. I can't really, you know what I mean, be aware of every little curveball that life is going to bring. I just have to, you know what I mean, learn how to be as stable as I can, whether it's mentally or physically or spiritually, emotionally, right? Maybe financially, and try to get to the point where, when life does what it does, man, I either enjoy it or I learn from it or I try to face it the best that I can. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I'm saying this is that, a lot of people have been hitting me up, you know what I mean, about certain things, that have been hitting them lately. For me, some emotions kind of popped up a couple times this weekend. And emotions are something that you can't be so busy that you can't feel what life brings to you. Again, you're howling at life. You're not avoiding it. You're not hiding from life, right? This isn't hiding from life podcast. It's howling at it, which means, you got to have some kind of a stance. You got to have some kind of a experience, wisdom, something, right? The reason why, like, when emotions pop up for me, you know what I mean? The reason why I can howl at those emotions and get through them is because I faced them. I haven't avoided them. I've allowed myself to get vulnerable. I've allowed myself to talk to people about what the hell I've been going through. And it allows me to build a stronger foundation for myself, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's one of the things that I think for me is been very crucial for me is to, I've been able to allow myself to feel, you know what I'm saying? Because, life is gonna, when you howl at life, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean you're so strong and, you're fearless and you're not feeling. It just means that you're howling at whatever life brings to you, right? And that can be even emotions. I know a lot of people that emotions have been popping up. Shit, my emotions have been popping up. I've been crying almost every fucking day. Uh, um, or sore or productive or whatever, you know what I mean? But I think the thing is that, in 2026, everybody, you really got to figure out the meaning of what howling at life is for you, man. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people are maybe struggling a little bit, or some things are popping up as we get older or whatever, man. And it's how do you find the courage, right? How do you find the stability? How do you find the motivation to keep howling at life, man? You know what I mean? That's not easy, and I think that a lot of times, from just observation, it's hard to howl at life if you haven't found your fucking wolf pack, man. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are lone wolfing this shit. Like, I'm good as a lone wolf, dog. You know what I'm saying? But I howl better, stronger, more confidently when I have my wolf pack that I found. And I think that a lot of people have struggled in the past to find the meaning of what howling at life is for them because they've been doing it on their own, or they've been trying to stay too strong for their loved ones. And, but who helps you stay strong? You know what I'm saying? Like, who helps you continue that foundation? I mean, some of us have partners and families and stuff like that, but without all that, man, like who's helping the person of you find your howl? Who's helping the person of you? What is your support besides just the family, man? You know what I'm saying? Because they might be dealing with their own shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like they're busy doing their own life and trying to find their howl and their way. You know what I mean? Like, who's really helping you out to figure that out? And are you letting them help you out? Oh shit, are you letting them? You know what I mean? Who's helping you find out what that howl is like? Are you receptive to when people are trying to redirect you and trying to support you? You might not like what they say, but maybe they're trying to help you to get away from what you're used to doing because they see more potential in you or some possibilities for you. You know what I mean? This weekend when everybody was kind of hitting me up and stuff like that and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of hit me how much of a pillar of a man I am in my society, in my community, just in life in general, man. You know what I mean? It tripped me out. I was like, fuck, dude, like, I didn't realize when the fuck that happened. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, my ass was just another guy that was doing a podcast at his house. And, people are hitting me up for support, guidance, direction, advice, suggestions, you know what I mean? Like, or maybe just a shoulder and ear, you know what I'm saying? And it's been a trip, it's been a trip to kind of realize, like I had realizations, to see that in 2026, even though I've been a counselor and I've been sober for a long time and, and I've been doing this, for a minute and whatever, but, that realization kind of hit me, how much I'm able to be there for people and how much people really know that I'm there for them. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be able to do all this shit without the support that I have. My Monster Squad, my Wolf Pack, my fam, you know what I mean? And I'm not just talking about blood, sometimes it's your chosen fam, you know what I mean, that are pretty solid in your lives. Maybe this is the year where you make more connections and you humble yourself a little bit and allow yourself to be supported so you can find that howl for yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this is the year that you allow that process and that chapter to happen for you. And another thing, you know what I'm saying? Finding the meaning of the howling at life, man. You got to take a risk. You know what I'm saying? You got to allow yourself to find that howl. You know what I mean? Like, we can keep on doing same old shit, but it's 2026, y'all. Like, sometimes life is telling you it's time to fucking redirect your shit, try to approach it different, try to find a different stance because, you've rocked it for so long, it's hard for you to find another one, right? But maybe this is a year that you try to find another stance or find another avenue or find another something about you or, a different job or, upgrade your relationship or find a new one. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, plenty of fish in the sea. You know what I'm saying? But maybe this is the year where you take the risk of finding out what your howl at life is, man, because that is very important as well. right? Trying to get that courage and that faith to just take that fucking leap, man. You know what I'm saying? And see like what else is there for me, dude? You know what I mean? Like I was talking to one of my buddies and I was telling him, I said, you know what I'm grateful for um is the fact that I've kind of set myself up for my later years. You know what I'm saying? Like schooling, getting degrees, you know, I'll be getting the licensing in a few years. And, you know, if it ever gets to the point where I'm like 70, 80, you know, or whatever, man, I could still work a couple hours a week, you know, and get paid good money. You know, so financially I'm not tripping because there's always going to be a opportunity for me somewhere, right? You know, I kind of been thinking ahead a little bit, you know, and I was talking to Spooky about this. I think it was this weekend. And I was telling her, I said, you know, if you get your life, right, look at life and look at life like, say you're going to live to 80 years. Hopefully everybody here lives past that. But I'm just saying, say, you know, my dad just turned 80, so I know that it's possible. But say, you know, just a base, right? 80 years, okay? Excuse me. You have 80 years, right? Break that down in like a football game into 4 quarters. That's 20, 40, 60, 80, right? Get to 80 years. If you are in your 40s, you already passed halftime. You know what I'm saying? You're already past halftime. Halftime show already played. You're good. You know what I mean? But like when I think about it, this year I'm gonna be 50. You know what I'm saying? The Wolfman gonna be 50 in November this year, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually happy for it. Don't get me wrong. Down the hill my ass. It's up the hill for me. But you know what I mean? I was talking to Spooky about this weekend and I was like, you know, if I break it down into quarters of my life, say I'm gonna be around for 80, just minimum, right? But say, you know, that's 20 years per, then I already passed my halftime show. That's done. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be 50 this year. That means half of my third quarter is gone. And I'm glad that I've taken what I had to take to be able to set myself up for the last quarter. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people they get into this, well, I'm too old. I go, you can still do it. You're still in your third quarter. Some of y'all are still in your second quarter. You know what I mean? You're still in that 30 range. If you are, give me more followers, fucker. You know what I mean? But if you're past your 40s, man, you know what I'm saying? The biggest thing is setting yourself up for the later quarter, man. You know, once you're past the 60 mark. You know, I know some people still in their early 60s, like, hey, dog, I ain't going out like that, bro. I'm gonna do it now in my fourth quarter. But if you're not there yet, man, you know what's stopping you from finding that howl in this quarter of your life? You know what I'm saying? And so I was talking to Spooky about that, going like, you know, my 50s are gonna be badass. There's gonna be a lot of accomplishments, a lot of things I want to do, a lot of things I want to try, a lot of things I want to get out there. You know, well, you know, whatever. And it's gonna be great, dude. You know what I mean? But again, if you don't practice on finding what that meaning of howling at life is for you, and you're still avoiding, you're still doing the old shit, and you're still barely making it, and you're still fooling yourself like you're gonna be able to do that all the way to your fourth quarter, then I'm sorry to tell you, man, but you're bullshitting yourself. You look at all the people that win lottery, man, hundreds of millions of dollars, and in a year they're broke. How the fuck that happened, dog? Like I'll still be shopping it. I just bought a blazer today at Goodwill for $9. This shit look fucking fire, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like it look fucking pinstripe, baby. I mean, I might not be shopping at Goodwill if I got like $100 million, but I'm just saying, like, you know, being able to like understand, like, hey, dude, like, unless you've got like boku money set aside and everything's great and gravy, you know, most of us are just Joe Schmo just trying to get through the fucking paying the rent this month. You know what I mean? And and a lot of us aren't set up like that, you know, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think you know, in 2026, it's finding the meaning of what that how is for you to set yourself up. Because I'll be honest with you, man, I'm not going into my fourth quarter of my life without no fucking, you know, balls to fucking howl at life anymore. You know what I'm saying? I want to still be rocking and rolling that motherfucker all the way until the howl is gone. You know what I'm saying? Which I hope is a long, long time from now, right? But I think the thing is that, you know, in 2026, this is the year to find what the meaning of that howl is for you. To figure out, you know what I mean? Do you just want to make it or do you want to set yourself up now? For a lot of us, our kids are grown, man. For a lot of us, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're good. You know, we've done our jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like my youngest kid, he's playing basketball tomorrow, so I'm gonna go check him out. But he's gonna be 18 this year, you know, in October. And that's it. He's an adult. That's it. All the kids are adults now. Fuck it. You know, even my stepkids, boom, done. They're all adults. This is just the last one. So it's like, so what about me though? Right? Because it's your howl. It's not your family's howl. That's a different thing. It's not your partner's howl. You know what I'm saying? It's your howl. You got to figure out what that is for you this year. I'm hoping you do. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know about you, but I ain't rocking the end of this year going like, oh, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, or whatever. I was already planning for shit. Was already going on. Y'all heard the podcast. I already had shit lined up for this year. There's cruises and trips and this and that, concerts and blah 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 and whatever. What movies to see in the next year, like where I'm gonna be at with school, with work, with blah blah blah. You know what I mean? All projects that it just came up. You know what I mean? And what, like, it's planning out to be a pretty full year already. There's one thing I was talking to Spooky about this. There's one thing every month that I'm either celebrating or a part of or something, man. At least one thing per month already. And my weekends get pretty packed pretty quick without me even knowing it. But I think the thing is in 2026 would be the great year to give that treat to yourself, work on yourself, be open to people trying to help you out to figure out what that howl is. But it takes you to be able to let people know, like, hey, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, man. How do you howl at life? How do you get successful? How do you fucking everything work out for you, bro? Like, what is the trick? You know what I mean? So you doing your part of saying that vulnerability and asking for help, now you got to be open to the help, but also you got to practice the help that they tell you to fucking do. You know what I mean? You can't just ask for people in suggestion and then be like, all right, cool, and then go back to do what the hell you're doing, y'all. You know what I mean? Because your house gonna be fucked, okay? And this isn't called whimpering at life, y'all. It's called howling at it, right? So, maybe this is the year that you reach out more, you get more vulnerable, you reconnect, you find more connections, some solid people. You know what I mean? And or maybe this is the year you start taking some action to maybe set up, a better year for yourself and a better year for your loved ones and whatever it takes, man. There's we lose a lot of people, but we're still here, man. And that's a good thing. Maybe this is a time where you make certain connections stronger, man. Maybe you ask more questions this year, and you try to implement some things in your life to let you really finding that how of life, for yourself. You know what I mean? I hope that everybody here has a great 2026. Some of us will, some of us won't. I don't know what to tell you. Some of us will make it to the end of the year, some of us won't. But the reality is, like, I want to keep howling until the last, that's it, the last howl, man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be stressing and worrying and whatever. I want to be all right, to be able to howl one last time. You know what I mean? When it's time. So hopefully everybody, you kind of take a mindset, check this out for yourself, time, and really see what that's gonna be for you. You know what I mean? I didn't think I was gonna fucking talk the whole 50 minutes, but you look at what I'm doing, fucking almost there. But I really care, man. People cared for me a lot to help me find my how. And one of the things is that I'm just trying to be here to give you some suggestion, to give you some, hopefully some insight, to help you out, so you can find your how. You know what I mean? Because my life is cool, dog, you know what I'm saying? But there could be some things a little here and there, but at the same time, it ain't bad. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't bad. I can still smile today. But hopefully this year, like, you give yourself that chance. You know what I'm saying? They say that in the meetings a lot. Give yourself a chance, but give yourself a chance at this life thing. We're still here living it, man. You know what I mean? And times are different, man. Times are different. Prices are different. Stressors are different. Whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't like it used to be in the 80s and 70s and 90s and shit. You know what I'm saying? In the early 2000s, pre-COVID. You know what I'm saying? Things are different, and we're older, and there should be a little bit more growth and a little more evolution going on, so we can really find a strong howl to keep fucking facing life today. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully you got something from this, y'all. Hopefully you got some insights, some motivation, man. If you did, drop a comment, right? Like, subscribe, and share. Listen, like, subscribe, and share. Of course, if you're listening to this, you're already doing it. But give a comment, man. Maybe what you're gonna work on this year, or maybe maybe you don't know, have your howl, or drop a, hey man, I missed you, man. I want to reconnect with you. I know where your life's at, but maybe we could still stay in touch. And I'm open to that. You know what I'm saying? But maybe this is the year that we start doing certain things like that and stop living that fear, that regret, the doubt, or letting time pass us by, man. You know what I mean? So I hope you got something from this episode, y'all. I will see y'all next episode, and we go out like we always do, everybody. See you next episode, everybody. Peace out.